Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesdays with Willie. And I feel like we're on a game show, kind of, Rich. What do you think? Like,
yep.
Host, co-host, presenter, co-presenter.
I'll be Vanna.
That's right. Well, okay. Well, we're going to turn the page then, because we're talking about our 2018 business plan being rolled out this week to a number of our locations. But for those of you that are more remote, such as our retail branches, as well as account executives and maybe people who didn't get an opportunity to see it, we're going to do one quickly, live, and uncensored for you. So the theme is getting it good. Getting it good doesn't sound overly aspirational, but if you take a step back and look at how the organization has grown, primarily through acquisition, we've had 4 corporate acquisitions, the first one being the way in which we started the company, and servicing acquisitions of over $8 billion. You can see our production has grown from less than $2 billion in our first year of operation, 2015, to a projection of over $15 billion in 2018. We have, through these acquisitions and through an organic build, assembled a diverse and integrated framework, which means we participate in all channels of origination, and we also participate across the mortgage value chain, which includes capital markets, our servicing platform, as well as owning that servicing asset called mortgage servicing, right? So the next step for us in getting to good is solidifying that framework, foundational framework, and then starting to leverage that framework into a more rapid growth, which is why you see the lines go up. In alignment with getting to good, we have 3 organizational themes this year. And first is driving by dashboard. And so, we're a diverse, distributed organization with a number of activities taking place, especially in that diverse and integrated framework. So we really need a common language, and that language is data. So using dashboards to manage our business, to understand where we're at, and to communicate with each other is the way in which we're going to propel the growth of our business. 2 is improving the customer experience. Because of the nature of the organizational build, we spend a lot of time looking inward, looking at systems conversions and integrations, and how do we all work together. Now that we're moving through that foundational stage, it's time to turn that focus outward and leverage what we built and take it out to our customers. So continually improving that experience will be an important part of what we're doing in 2018. Finally, consistently more efficient. Even though we're going to start turning some of that functionality outward, we can still leverage it inward, and that is to continually improve and be more efficient in how we handle the business. And all 3 of these things connect together. So understanding the information, data, the drivers of the business and of the organization, becoming more efficient, and improving the experience. Those all connect together. So those are our themes in getting to good in 2018. I'll pass it over the next slide to Rich.
Sure. So thanks, Willie. So going back to Willie's point about 2 different halves of this year, the first half is getting to this foundational steady state. And really these are core items that are necessary for us to be operationally efficient and also focus on the customer experience. So upgrading our servicing system, handling a consolidation of our origination systems into one system for each channel, filling up critical resource needs that we've got, making sure our issues database is fully functional, covering all the dashboards that Willie has talked about in terms of making sure that we're managing by the dashboards. What gets measured gets managed. And then once we have that foundational piece complete in the first half, we then go into the second half of 18. And that's where things really start to heat up. And you'll see that in a second in the financials. We start to improve our productivity. We start improving the customer experience with the websites. Focus on reducing defects, and all this is really laying the groundwork for how can we change things on a go-forward basis, how can we achieve what our goals are for 2018, and in a second you'll see the growth in the financials.
We talked about dashboards, Rich talked about them, I talked about them, and this is really kind of the hierarchy of the dashboard. So going all the way from our daily KPIs, so understanding throughout the organization what's happening every day, what are the drivers of our business on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, 1 down dashboards. That means that not only do we have executive level information, we have next level information. Eventually, I'd like to get to the point where every person, every associate in the organization has a dashboard. So, this is kind of the foundational element of that, and then the expansion of that foundation. And on a monthly basis, what you'll start to see is more information that tells you about how the business is performing. So we'd like to keep everybody, be transparent as an organization, and keep everybody informed as to what's going on.
All right, so they go to the financials. Again, thematically here, we've got 2 halves. Our first half, we've got $6.55 billion of overall production closings, right? See how it jumps up to 8.5 second half, all in for $15.1 billion. Same thing holds true for the servicing, where you see a growth in the servicing portfolio. We're at 41.3 for the end of the first half, and that goes up to, I believe, 46.7 second half. So again, you see that growth commensurate with our growth in originations. And then most importantly, from an earnings perspective, look at the bottom of the slide. First half is about $2.8 million in earnings for those first 2 quarters. And then that ratchets up to 23.9 in the second half. So you see almost like a hockey stick of growth, reflecting the fact that the first half is really focused on getting the foundation straight. The second half is leveraging that foundation to grow the business, all in with the target of 26.7 million of earnings.
So one of the things that was on one of the prior slides that we didn't really mention is that, Rich talked about that first half, second half, and as we accelerate both the growth and the earnings, we will start to look at innovative ways and we can go from good to great. So, but it's important to understand that first is foundation, second is leveraging the foundation. And then as we do that, we'll have both the bandwidth, and the capability to look at innovation and ways in which we can become truly great as an organization. So in a nutshell, that's our 2018 business plan. So until next week, thanks. See ya.